from the sounds of gunfire in Lebanon's capital, and now Hezbollah-led opposition gunmen have apparently seized control of some of Beirut's neighbourhoods. It's the third day of sporadic fighting between the backers of the Shiite Hezbollah militia and supporters of the Sunni-led government. Civilians have been caught in the crossfire. In this video taken on Thursday, a little boy runs from one relative to another during a break in the gunfire, but once he reaches the arms of safety, gunfire and explosions resume. So this week's violence was sparked by the government's crackdown on Hezbollah's telecommunications system, which the group deems to be vital for its operations. And CNN has announced 2 pro-government television stations have gone off the air. They say they were threatened by Hezbollah supporters. More on that and the conflict that's been raging in the streets. CNN's Cal Perry joins me now from Beirut. Cal, what's the latest there?
Well, good morning, Sasha. As you mentioned, gunfire continued throughout the night into the morning hours. There was actually a break, a respite from the fire when it rained. Now, even though the sort of gunfire has settled down, we are seeing some stunning political developments. Our senior international correspondent here on the ground, Brent Sadler, has been talking to both opposition and pro-government sources, and what we're talking about here is almost a virtual surrender of some of the government buildings, some of the seat of power in western sections of the city. The question here really is whether or not we're witnessing what amounts to a virtual coup. Yesterday, in his speech, the leader of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, said that he was not interested in a coup. He actually mocked the government at times, saying, if this was a coup, you would know. You would wake up either in your cells or in the sea. It was a stunning and actually somewhat frightening statement. He said he did not want a coup and he did not want sectarian violence. The question today is, are we seeing that anyway? Are we seeing a virtual coup and the potential downfall of this Western-backed government? So even though the violence seems to have settled a little bit, the political crisis seems to have deepened here a little bit on the ground. That said, we still have reports of at least 11 people killed so far throughout the clashes and some 44 wounded, Sasha.
Cal, how are people reacting there to the situation that's unfolding around them, the civilian population?
You know, Beirut is a fascinating place. In fact, yesterday when we were out and about, we got sort of caught in the raging gun battle, and as we made our way back to the CNN Bureau, we drove around the city and we drove past restaurants that were full. So really, I think to answer your question, you have to look at the various neighborhoods across this city. Some of the neighborhoods have seen some fierce fighting. Other neighborhoods, the Christian enclaves of the city, have seen relative calm where the fighting has not breached into their neighborhoods. So as is typical in the city like Beirut, where you have clear sectarian lines in some places of the city, we're seeing fighting in those places of the city and still some quiet in others, Sasha.
Okay, Cal, thank you very much for that update on the situation there. Well, we now have